we'll go into the club officer training.
Adventure for this second term. My role here tonight is to provide you with a little bit of insight into club officer roles. I'm not going to go into depth because when you go to your breakout rooms, that's your opportunity to ask the leader of your room some of those, so how do I really do this? Questions, or I tried and it didn't really work questions. So please take advantage of those leaders in your breakout rooms when we get there. I love to put images in all of my PowerPoint slides. So our first image here, I'm going to ask you, and that is, how does this image relate to the club officer team? How does it relate to the club officer team? If you'd be so kind, please put 1 or 2 words into chat and let's see what we're thinking. So I'm seeing from TK O'Gary that, yep, club officer roles are really interwoven together. And I love some of the ways you're looking at that cooperation, working together, having the same goals, cohesive goals, collaboration. Together we're stronger. And yes, Daryl, communication, all of these different things that make those individual strands cohese and work together and become intertwined. Without that communication, we're all just strands. When we recognize our achievements, we recognize our club's achievements, when we share and communicate with each other as a team, and we plan and celebrate progress, we become that strong, braided line that supports our clubs. So tonight we're going to go ahead and have that overview of the roles and just give you a little bit of what the role does. At the end, we are going to put into chat a PDF that has lots of tasks that you accomplish in each role. I'm not going to send it now because if you're like me, sometimes you start looking at that and reading it without listening. All right, let's move to club president. What a great role this is. You are the one who really moves all of the officer team together at the same time. You move all of the club members together at the same time. They're following you and your strength, your positive leadership. As a president, you're not only a cheerleader of the accomplishments individual members have made, the accomplishments the club has made, and you bring that up and mention it so that everyone can celebrate the movement forward. You're also a coach. You may be able to give some insight to members of your officer team. You may be able to talk to a club member and see if they'll be one of the next officers. So you are also a coach. As the club president, you are the CEO, the chief executive officer. You get to keep an eye on how is the club doing in every single area. How are you doing in membership? Are you working with your membership officer to make sure that there's a program in place? So you have some membership drives coming up. You're participating. Are you working with your VPE to encourage them to find out who is next for only has one more speech in order to complete a level? So all of those things that you do to strengthen the team. You also provide a vision. Here's where we're going. So as a club president, you really are a guide to help the club reach distinguished, staying on top of what's happening in the Distinguished Club program and on the dashboard. You have the role to preside over meetings and help guide it and see what's going on. You might be the kind of club that uses a bi-weekly meeting, or maybe you're a monthly meeting. Whatever it is, stay in communication constantly, even outside the meetings. You also have a responsibility as a club president to make sure you represent the club It may be at a district meeting where you're voting. It may be the annual business meeting. It could be joining in or talking to your area council and your area director, making sure you know what's going on. So just remember, you are the one that everyone looks to know what the direction and goals of the club are, and you set the tone for your club. VPE, Vice President of Education. I selected these braided bracelets because they're each different. Just like our members have different goals, different experiences. Maybe someone's fast at braiding their pathway bracelet together. Maybe they're a little slower. They've got 2 or 3 going on. Your role is merely making sure people understand pathways and how to work within it and how to move forward in it. Knowing what your members' goals are and helping them achieve it is so important. And again, you can do that yourself. You can also use your entire team to talk to other members and find out what's your goal? How are you doing with that? Where do you need help? Make sure you're all sharing those responsibilities, and that team, that officer team, makes that strong braided rope. You also have the responsibility, VPE, to fill meeting roles. You may need help with that. You may need to be very visible. Oops, I'm sorry. I got excited there. You may need to be very visible and in front of the club to say, we need to fill roles for the next 3 meetings. All right, I'm passing this around. You're not leaving the room till it's done. However you decide to do it, that is one of your key responsibilities. Where would we be without speech contests and encouraging those who have that as their goal to join? Encourage all your club members to go, and have they ever been to a speech contest? Wouldn't that be exciting? Also, you as VPE are responsible for orienting the new members. Don't do it all alone. I suggest that you have some help and ask others to participate and help you with that. And that's often the mentors that you help put together as a mentor team. Vice President of Membership, you get to bring in guests and find ways to get them to come in. What are some fun things you can do in your club to encourage new faces to come and see what you're all about? So bring in the guests, have your members bring in guests, and ask them to join. We love it when we go someplace and we are asked to join. Even if we need to say no, how fabulous is it to be asked if you want to become a member of a great team, a great club? It's important for you, VPM, to really keep an eye on membership levels. I think we all know, more people in a club makes the whole club meeting go easier. VPE can more easily fill roles. It really does lead to high quality club meetings. And the last thing that you want to keep an eye on, twice a year, we do have dues renewals, and that is under your realm as well. So get all those ducklings in and ask them to join your club. VPPR. Okay. My image for you is this: you are constantly sending out balloons of information. In fact, you're opening the door. It's not just one balloon, it's a whole room of information going out to promote the club in whatever way you think will work or you have experience doing. And by the way, learn some new things too. I had to, and what a great thing Toastmasters is. You learn things you may not have knowledge of. Keep the contact information updated on Find a Club. That's a really important thing in VPPR. You may have to take the bull by the horns and do those kinds of things. And talk about anything that your club does, any event coming up, any achievements. Recognize those who are in speech contests, recognize those who are volunteering. Bring that to everyone's attention. Your last role here is safeguard the Toastmasters brand. So important. Making sure the banner's up there correctly, making sure the Coastmaster colors are being used. There's a lot of information on that on District 26 website as well as Toastmaster International website. Secretary. You are the chief organizer of everyone. Everything will have a place and everything will be in its place. You are the person that says, I know the records, I know who did what, I know where the bodies are buried, and I know how to find out what did we talk about at our last club officer meeting? What were the goals we set? Who said they would do something? Did that get done? So you are so key in helping to keep the whole club on track. Such an important role. You also get to update the membership rosters and make sure those names are submitted on Club Central to Toastmasters International. And you keep the membership rosters updated so you know what's going on with all members. Another duty that is really helpful, when I was the president, I really relied on my secretary to help me with some of the basic parliamentary procedures. I always needed a little help when we were voting in new club officers or voting in new members to make sure I got it right. So that is another way that you can help the club. Our treasurer, where would we be without someone to help us manage our resources and make sure that we're able to get the items we need that support the club? So really, Mr. Treasurer, Miss Treasurer, you are the accountant that helps find things and manage financial transactions. When a member applies, you help take care of all of that part of their dues. When it's time for renewals, you work with the VPPR, the VPM, whoever you need to make sure that that goes smoothly. If your club has a bank account, that will be part of your responsibility to look at that and to manage a budget, pay the bills. And maybe you're the kind of person that also goes online to District 26 website to see what kind of incentives might be available, because that can also help your club be successful. Sergeant at Arms, you will never be forgotten. You are so important to the club. Your role is to make sure there's a meeting space, and it could be a Zoom meeting space or both. And keep track of all that club property. If you're running out of something, let the president and the treasurer know so that you have enough supplies. And I found this a wonderful position because I got to learn how to manage hybrid and online technology. I was a novice and I learned so much that now I'm helping others. So I encourage you to get the training and build your skills and help your club be successful.